Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a high-level game of StarCraft 2. Today in the bottom right, as our blue Terran player playing for Team Kaizi Gaming, it is Spirit, player formerly known as Sol. And in the top left, as our red PROTOSS player playing for Club NV, it is Creator. Used to be part of Team NV. Team NV disbanded in, I believe, August of 2022. And then turned into Club NV. I'm not sure if these players are still under contract or what is going on, but I believe that Bunny, DRG, as well as Creator are technically still part of the team. It could be that it's just for WTL, the World Team League, but I'm not entirely sure what is going on there. I honestly have no clue. What I do know is that Spirit is sending out one of his first SCVs fairly quickly across the map. And that's going to allow him to go for an eBay block over here. At home, he's building a refinery as well as a barracks. And it's going to be a barracks before a refinery with that eBay. We'll see how Creator decides to respond to this. He sends in the probe. What are you actually doing, my friend? I'm fairly curious here. SCV moving around this eBay. Ooh, it's gonna get a lot of health here on this bad boy. Spirit immediately moves over towards where the third nexus most likely is going to be. Interesting start here. A very interesting start, as a Zealot is going to be the initial response here. Marine coming out. Is this going to be a cancel on the eBay, or what will we see here? Could just be a very fast factory as well, initially, of course. No, Marine into Reactory. Reactory into... I want to say factory. There's a Marine into Reactor. Marine into Reactor. Second depot. Still no cancel on this eBay. So we see Spirits trying to get another eBay block up maybe. No, just gets a little bit more HP in there. Stalling, I guess. It's not the end of the world. This is okay. CC will be built on the low ground and still no factory. But once this eBay gets cancelled, the factory is going to be pretty much imminent. There we go. Starts immediately. This SCV, I believe, is going to start a bunker. Wouldn't mind seeing this bunker a little bit further towards the left. There's maybe the ability of a Stalker and a Zealot to kind of squeeze by here. But then again, is this really something you want? I don't think it is, as you're just going to end up losing the Zealot majority of the time. Stalker moving around the map looking for potential proxies. It's not going to find anything because there's nothing proxied out on the map. Marine 2 and 3 also are out, as Marine 4 and 5 start over here. Actually get cancelled. Wonder why that is. Oh, maybe Spirit actually forgot a depot? I think he might have. I think he might have forgotten a depot here. Starts with 3rd CC. That's a build and a half. Wow. Okay, not familiar with this at all. So heavily cutting out these Marines. This is an insane build order. I am not familiar with this whatsoever. It's most likely going to be a single Cyclone into tanks. And then some type of 3 racks. So heavy focus here on the economy for Spirit. While on the other hand, we see a Twilight coming out for Creator. Now the thing and the problem with a Twilight in this case is that you're going to have very mediocre scouting. You have no clue what is going on here. Absolutely no clue whatsoever. Cyclone is being pushed out. And that Cyclone is going to deny even more of the scouting. Had that Adept finished its shade, it could have probably seen the 3rd CC. I think that is definitely within scouting range. Second barracks on the way. 3rd barracks will be constructed soon as well. Here comes the Cyclone. Do we need to up that depot, of course. Is this Adept going to finish up? It is going to finish up. That means it's going to end up dying. You probably want to hide the Cyclone. I love this move here out of Spirit. You saw he wanted to go in, but he said, no, actually, I'm going to kill that Adept without the Cyclone. Why would I move my Cyclone downstairs? Give my opponent more information than he already has. The moment a PROTOSS player sees a Cyclone out, they know that there's not going to be a mine drop. Spirit hiding that information might give him a little bit more time if there's going to be some type of 3 or 4 gate attack, which to me it seems like that's what Creator is going for. It's a 4 gate attack here. Battery in the natural. He's going for a defensive setup. 2 Stalkers make their way across the map and kill a single bunker. Second bunker is, or a single Marine. Second bunker is already on the way. And our first tank is out. See some nice pylons here on the edges. Creator just starting to move across the map right now as Marines are trying to scout for info. The moment you see Marine Scouts, usually you know that there's not going to be a mine drop flying around the map. It's fairly rare for that to happen. Spirit's eco is absolutely fabulous though. Third bunker on the way as well over here. And Blink starting just now. It's going to be double barracks. Third barracks severely delayed. Look at this. He's looking for a drop. There's no drop, my friend. There's not even a starport out yet. I feel like Spirit might be over defending a little bit. You're building 3 bunkers. That's really quite a lot. We're seeing turrets also going down. All of that before the third barracks. It's not going to help his unit count. Probably important that this observer gets taken out. Cyclone in a little bit of a scruffy position. Needs to be extremely careful. Marine moving forward as well. We have a starport being built behind the minerals. More barracks being added too. Second eBay, despite the first eBay not really doing any research quite yet. Here comes the Blink in. Tank in position. Cyclone also helping out here. Good control out of Creator on those Stalkers. Loses 1 so far. It's not a whole lot. There's no tank here ready to defend these barracks. If these barracks end up going down, that would be a pretty darn big deal. There's no third Nexus behind this though for Creator, who's going to end up losing. No, maybe another Stalker, not quite. 2 Stalkers have gone down so far. Adepts are out. Should not finish that. Is not going to finish that. Stim not done yet, but there's a lot of bio units anyway. More and more tanks are making their way towards that high ground. Is there enough on the low ground now to defend? Is the next question that I have. No observer here to spot. And I think the rotation downstairs for Creator was just a little bit too slow. Templar Archives as a follow-up. And we see a third Nexus coming down. And despite Spirit's good economical opener and his massive focus on getting more and more money, still not entirely sure if this is so great for him. Yes, he has triple CC faster than his opponent, but the actual supply right now is fairly close, and that's usually good for Protoss. Infrastructure is also not fantastic. I mean, there's going to be four barracks soon. No 5th barracks yet. Medevacs insanely late. We're going to get Storm at about the same time as we're going to have Medevacs. Upgrades are quite okay though here for Spirit. If he just sits back and does nothing, I like his position the best. Because I think he might have something of a good 1-1 or maybe even like a 2-2 type of timing. That might actually be helpful. Yeah, this Prism needs to recall. So you know that a Viking is going to be produced here. Look how late these starport units are coming out though. The actual issue here. That is actually an issue. 4 Adepts in the Prism are going to get replaced here by these Templar. Storm is on the way. More Immortals coming in as well. Triple Templar in the Prism. 16 Stalkers out. Charge on the way. Fort base, I think will go down soon. But it is of course possible here for Creator to delay that for a bit more until he feels truly secure in his position. Yeah, the actual supply right now, I think Spirit is walking away with a bit of a supply lead. Would love for the armory to start the moment that it's going to match up with the 1-1 upgrades. Because I think upgrades are going to be huge here, absolutely huge. As a Protoss player, you often want to get a fort base very quickly, or you want to go into tech. Because otherwise you're exposing yourself to a massive timing window out of the Terran, like 1-1 with Ghost. It's just a really scary thing if all you have is Templar. Because Ghost counter that, and if you have inferior upgrades as well, your gateway units are not going to fight too well against the bio in general. So that's definitely something that Creator needs to think about. It's getting a single fort right now, and I would love to see a Robowave being added in as well. I personally believe that to be the correct call here. Seems like Creator doesn't agree with that. Fort base, and it's actually going for a bit of a move out. Archon's out on the map. Okay, here we go. Robo base, second robotics facility. Still only working off a single fort. Armory too late. Ghost Academy kind of late as well. Spirit not playing this too tight. Has a lot of tanks and starts by sending out 2 medevacs here. Perhaps starting a new age of attacking. Immediate rotation coming out of Creator as well. This pylon is going to spot it. Creator immediately there with a lot of the Stalkers, a bunch of Zealots. He's looking for some free pickoffs. Might actually end up getting this as 1 Marine gets sent in. Spirit needs to respond quickly. This response is not quick enough simply. 1 Marauder gets targeted down second. No, it's going to be Marines. couple of units go down. At the same time, pure marines moving across the map will clear a couple of these probes and then move towards the top side, where an immortal, 3 stalkers and 2 zealots will give a very nice welcome. Creator though, 174 supply against 155. Not quite sure how he did it. Really feels like some over defending here out of Spirit. Still has a good 2-2 timing though. If you move out here with tanks, 2-2 and a bunch of ghosts, mix in 2-3 Vikings to deal with a prism, I don't quite understand how Creator's actually going to end up dealing with that. Creator decided to go for straight disruptors rather than starting with Colossi. That is often something you do if you feel like you're on the brink of dying. Colossus are better if you're kind of in control of the game. But Creator, probably afraid of a ghost push, decides to get disruptor first. Maybe get a lucky hit in the defense, which is going to be really difficult here for him, honestly. That's the one thing I will say. If there's going to be a 2-2 push, that is. Spirit is a player that is known for having timings and just not caring about them. Just sitting at home and waiting for the going for the long run. Yeah, we have these extra barracks right now finishing up, but we also see our next starport being constructed. That's going to be the second starport. We have a fusion core on the way, plus 1 ship weapons coming in. So it seems to me like Spirit is actually playing for that long con, just going in with individual drops, trying to deal some damage, seeing if he can get anything done here. We have a large portion of army moving out as the 5th base is flying over into position to take this bottom 6 o'clock. To me, it seems like this base is toast. Triple cancels there. Battery cannon and Nexus all gone from our lives. As this army is going to return back home after a successful mission. And if I were Spirit, or if I had full control of what Spirit is doing right now, I'd say we're moving out. We're moving out with 5 tanks, with a 3 upgrade lead, with a massive tech advantage as well, I would say. I mean, you have tanks Ghost against Templar Disruptor. Disruptors aren't great against tanks. Templar aren't great against tanks. There's a huge amount of Marauders here, and Ghost can also deal with these High Templar, of course. So, in general, I'm really loving this position here for Spirit if he were to attack. But Spirit seems to be very happy with just defending, staying at home, getting the advanced ballistics and playing for Liberators. A couple of EMPs going to connect here with this army. Can we get a scan? Can we get a scan? Yes, we can. Zealots are starting to fall right now. That's the tanks on the high ground definitely working out. Planetary on the bottom side also doing a fairly good job here. We have another army moving in. Spirit not going for a straight up push, but these small engagements still going very well for him due to his fantastic upgrades. It is going to be 2-2 against 2-1. Storm hitting absolutely everything. Oh my god. This fight could have been good had he not just basically baited in the storms. Like sunbathing, but more painful. And every single unit died. 3-3 hasn't started yet for Spirit. Surprising, confusing, yes, all of that. Starting now, gave priority to the Liberators. One Liberator here is chilling in the dead space. I think Advanced Ballistic is done. Yeah, there we go. Good luck catching this bad boy. You're gonna need, I think, some air unit to deal with it, no? You can move Stalkers in position to actually fight it. Yeah, we have a Phoenix on the way. We also have a Fleet Beacon and 2 more Stargates. So, Creator already setting up for the next phase in this game. Disruptors popping out. Liberator getting taken out here. Creator. Some fancy blinks. There's no army on the map here for Spirit, which is disappointing. I think against a Disruptor-centric army, you always want to try and have some type of army on the map, but that's not quite the case yet. Average APMs of both players here, 326 against 313. Both players very similar in speed. Liberator gonna get taken out. So another Liberator makes its way across the map. 74 workers here for Creator against the 80 workers of Spirit. 4 Templar in a Prism. And 6 Dark Templar just moving around, trying to have a good time. What are you doing, Mr. Liberator? What are you doing? Sets up. That's 2 patches that you're not going to be capable of mining from. Phoenix was... This is a busy bee Phoenix. He's going to get hit here by this lip. Spirit realized that it's the only Phoenix out right now, so if he wants to continue Liberator harass and this Phoenix is going to continuously ruin his day, might as well deal some damage to it and maybe kill it in the future. Rather than just sitting there and taking the hits in the face. I think more lips are being sent out. at least saw some of the camera movement going towards the top side. Okay, we have 2 Liberators over here. Going to be fairly difficult to deal with. Meanwhile, this setup defensively I think is good. Storming on lips is just so difficult. You're gonna need like 3 storms or so to deal with them. I don't actually even know. Yeah, 3 storms to deal with them. I've never actually tried it because it seems like a terrible plan. And I think I'm glad that I've never tried it. Marines being sent out across the map. Trying to deal some harassment damage. This lip dealt some damage. This bad boy dealt some damage. We have another one in the main base that's going to deny gas as well. 66 workers against 80. Spirit is just basically harassing his opponent to death currently. Continuously sending out small parts of his army. Has 5 orbitals behind it and can lower his own worker count at some point in the near future. And now starts going out with a massive amount of lips. Creator is only on 2 Tempest. Need way more than that in order to one-shot Liberators. 6 Tempest is the answer. Ooh. DT's gonna get caught here. Good split out of Creator, but it's not quite going to be enough. At the same time, storms are landing on this army. 22 probes have gone down in the past minute or so. More storms are landing on top of this army. This position is actually going to get broken. Very solid control here out of Creator. No Vikings to deal with any of this this Prism business. As the Tempest are being pushed out. Tempest 3 just finished up, with Tempest 4 on the way. We have the armor upgrade for air coming out rather than continuing attack upgrades. I think that might be a mistake. Nope, that disruptor shot definitely was a mistake. It killed 1 Marauder and 2 DTs. It's not what we call a very cost-efficient purification. Nova, a couple of storms coming in. Creator's control is absolutely fantastic. That's the one thing I will say. He has some great control here. Marvelous stuff. This command center is going to get slaughtered. At least be forced to lift off. This turret also is going to get taken out. Observer chilling in the dead space. And more units are coming in. Good purification Nova, Creator. Kind of carving out a nice little attack here for himself. He's very aggressive though with the Tempest and no real way of reinforcing this army. That means that the moment the purification Novas run out, this army is pretty much toast. Okay, here comes the Prism, and it's going to be important to get a big warp in of, I think Stalkers is what you want here. The cash is just not there for Creator. He's lost so many workers in this game. 36 workers killed. That it's this army and that's it. If he loses this army, he's toast. Tempest shooting from a distance. It's clear that there's an observer here. This is a good scan. Should definitely help in taking out this observer and denying vision. Oracle shows up. Is also going to aid Creator in his ability to shoot from a distance with these Tempests. I love the storms in the Prism, but once Vikings are out, this honestly should be rather useless. Interesting feedbacks. Can we get some purification of us? There we go. 1, 2, 3. None of them going to connect. Vikings flying forward. We'll start turning down these Tempests. Tempest, of course, kind of glass cannons. What is this upgrade called? This is Tectonic Destabilizers. 3 more DTs coming in. Looking for some damage on the bottom side, I guess. With those DTs? 7 DTs is not enough though. Usually want to work with 9 to 10 DTs so you can 3-slash these planetaries. Is this moving in for a nuke? It is. It is indeed moving in for a nuke. Uh-oh. Where are we at? Where did we fly away? Did I miss it? I still see the trail here on the edge. Creator saw it, spots it, knows what's happening. Is going to deal with it immediately as well. Tries to deal with this planetary at the same time. That's not quite going to be very successful, but sensor tower gets taken out. Let's stay in this first person view here for a little bit. Observer providing a lot of vision once again. And long range makes it important. This should have been spotted right now by Spirit. Yes, scans for the ops. That's going to be very big. 1 more storm is available. There's not a lot of anti-air in this army actually. As we see Creator struggling to keep his army alive. Vikings moving forward. We need another scan, I believe at least. Do we have a new Ghost with a nuke on the way? Not yet. 7 Liberators in production at a time. More Tempest and Void Race. Okay. That's an interesting call here. I think Spirit is just winning purely based on his eco. Just clearing so many workers. 51 in total. This Liberator on 11 kills. This Lib on 3 kills, but also denying mining once again. 700 mineral income against 2800. That means even if Spirit is taking slightly worse fights, it doesn't really matter because he's outmining his opponent so hard. He just needs to continuously press across the map, deal damage against the eco, and at the same time try and trade army out. And I think Creator is making it a little bit too easy here for Spirit to try and trade that army out, because this is a very vulnerable force that could be jumped up on by just Marauder, Ghost, Viking, honestly. And I'm surprised to see Spirit being this laid back. I really am surprised by that. What was this guy doing? Sniping a Ghost, or sniping an Observer was the plan, but there was no nuke available. Anyway, DT's moving in right now. Tank in the back. Actually saving this Planetary, you can't be serious. Planetary with 10 kills. I think 7 of those were DTs. That's kind of a big deal. Here come a lot of Marines moving out across the map. 44 Marines in this army makes this army rather weak. So I understand why these Marines are being sent out. And they're going to be sent out on one hell of a mission. Trying to take out some of these cannons, I guess. DTs could be sniped. Yep, there we go. 2 DTs go down. As more Ghosts are on the way right now. Is this army going to move towards the top side? I think it should. I also believe that Spirit is giving his opponent just a little bit too much time. There's no real need for that. As... I mean... It was 200 supply against 160 or 165 earlier, with no money in the bank for Creator. Now the situation is 200 versus 200. It feels like Spirit's situation got worse. He's still going to be capable of just taking out this base immediately. And he can continue pushing on as well. Good scan here on the high ground, making sure there's no Templar, making sure there's no big army waiting for him. At the same time, the bottom side, yes, it's vulnerable, but this is a bad army of... when it comes to clearing things, there's no Colossi there. There's just a bunch of Disruptors. Damage output of this army is rather low. Can it actually break this Planetary? I think eventually it might be capable of doing that, but look how much trouble Creator is having against just a building here. That's what, like 50 supply of army. Can't break a freaking Planetary. Now it's going to be forced to teleport back home with a recall most likely. Do we have a nuke available? I love this nuke. I am absolutely in love with this nuke. Oh no, this is a zoning nuke that might actually end up dealing some real damage. No, Creator probably spotted it and is now forced out of that position. It means that the main base is going to get cleared completely due to that one nuke. A beautiful nuke drop here coming out of Spirit. One of these moves that you can often theorize about, but we almost never see it in action. Spirit showing that it's definitely a viable strategy here, as more and more of the infrastructure is getting taken out. Every single Stargate, except for one. Fleet Beacon has been blasted, and oh my god, I love this follow-up. Spirit saying, hey, I just cleared all of your anti-Liberator units. What happens if I build Liberators now? And I'm not so sure if Creator actually has a plan against that. Medevacs are in trouble, completely empty at this point. Spirit's playing one hell of a game here, just purely harassment-based. Or almost purely harassment-based. So much damage on his opponent's eco. 89 workers killed. Resource loss actually also in favor of Spirit right now at this point. This Lip on 14 kills. We have 5 kills on this bad boy. Just continuously sending them in is... Honestly, he's playing fantastic StarCraft 2 here. There's nothing more, nothing less that I can say. And here comes the triple drop in position. That means that this battery is going to get taken out. Do we have another nuke coming in? No, there's no nuke available. It's just a scouting ghost, I guess. Trying to figure out what is going on. Meanwhile, Creator had a very high army supply, but... not army supply that I'm very afraid of if you're a Terran player. I mean, there's just not enough anti-air here. There are 21 Stalkers somewhere, but they're not here. Liberator sieging up right now. This command center is also being lifted up. What is the actual orbital count? We're at 5. Stalkers moving forward. They're still getting 2 shot here, but look at this. Look at these Libs just going to town on these Stalkers. More and more. Oh, this has been a great game. This honestly has been a fantastic game. Very action-packed mid-game. Interesting early game when it came to the strategies. It does feel like that Spirit is winning in the end, though. Some good trades. Great army kind of transitions. Just going back and forth between heavy Marauder Ghost, then adding those Liberators in once he felt ready for it. And now up to 11 Libs, adding 7 more. Still has an army in his opponent's main. Creator taps out with the GG as Spirit ends up winning. Absolutely fabulous game here. And I'm happy to have witnessed that. That's going to be it for me today. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. If you did, don't forget the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.